Good morning, Math Conquerors. Today we are going to work numbers 11, 12, 14, and 15 off of page 43. Okay, number 11. Number 11 says 28p squared plus 60p minus 25. So we know that we need to multiply 28 times 25, which is going to give us a rather large number, 700. But the first thing that jumps out to me is 70 times 10 gives me 700. And if I subtract 10 from 70, that's going to give me my 60 that I need. Okay, so let's come over here and let's group what we would like to group together. Now, I'm going to group the 10 with the 28. So 28p plus 10p, and this needs to be a square, plus 70p minus 25. So I put my 10 with my 28 because I saw that I could pull out a 2, and I put my 70 with my 25 because I can take out a 5. Okay, so I'm going to take a 2p out of this, leaving me with 14p minus 5, plus I'm going to draw out a 5, which would leave me with 14p minus 5, and now I just put it together. 2p plus 5 times 14p minus 5. Okay, number 12 says 48x squared plus 22x minus 15. Now I need to multiply the 48 and the 15, and it's going to give me a rather large number. And sometimes we get these large numbers and we have to think through them. But remember, I told you in a few more lessons we're going to learn about the quadratic formula, which will make some of these more simple, and we won't have to work with these large numbers. But this is the first step they're showing us, and then we'll add to it. So it is a large number. I know that my small numbers need to be the negative numbers. So we have 1 and 720. Can also get a 2, 2 and 360, and I'm just going to list them until we get down to some numbers that even look like it's going to give us 22, because 720 minus 1 is not going to give us 22. So if I divide it by 3, I get 240. A 4 will give me 180. 5 will be 144. A 6 will be 120. An 8 will give me 90. A 10 will give me 72. That puts me at 62. I need 22, so I'm still going to go. I'm going to move over here, and we'll just erase this out of here. 12 and 60. Still not there yet, because that gives me 48. 15 and 48. I'm getting closer. That gives me a 33. 16 and 45, that would give me a 29, and an 18 times 40 would give me my 22. So I'm going to use the 18 and 40. Now we're going to move this out of the way so that we can see we're going to use a negative 18 and 40. Okay, so looking at this, I see that I would like to put my 18 with my 48 and my 40 with my 15, because then I can factor some more. Okay, so I'm going to say 48x squared minus 18 plus 40, x minus 15. Now, out of this, I could factor a 6, so 6x, and that leaves me with 8x minus 3. Here I can see that I can factor out a 5. leaving me with 8x minus 3. And then we put it together. 6x plus 5 times 8x minus 3. Okay, on this problem, remember we talked about always look and make sure these numbers cannot be factored before you start. Well, 4, 26, and 48 have in common, the greatest common factor would be a 2. So before I begin, I want to pull out a 2 to make this a little bit easier to work with, so I don't have such large numbers. And so that leaves me with 2 times 2x squared plus 13x minus 24. All I did was pull out a 2. Remember, I can distribute it right back in to get where I came from. As long as I can go back to my original, I can do it. Okay, so now this makes this a little bit simpler to work with because now it's 2 times 24 instead of 4 times 48. And 2 times 24 is going to give me 48. Then I need my factors of 48, that when I multiply them I get 48, and when I subtract them I get 26. Excuse me, when I subtract them I get 13. Okay, so I'm going to start with a -1 and 48. That won't work. -2 and 24. -3 and 16, and you see right here we have found it because 16 minus 3 would give me my 13. Now, don't forget this 2. You can use brackets and extra things if you want to. I'm just going to put my 2 over here. I know he's here. I don't want to lose it. Okay. So I'm going to pair the 16 with the 2 and the 3 with the 24 because that makes more sense with factoring. So I have 2x squared plus 16x plus a -3x minus 24. Okay, so I can take out a 2. Now, don't get this one mixed up. That's where I said if you wanted to put brackets to kind of keep it away over here, that's fine. We'll just kind of do that where you can see what I'm talking about. Because I need to take a 2 out of here, but I don't want to get it mixed up with this 2. So I'm going to take a 2x out of there, leaving me with x plus 8. And then on the other side, I'm going to draw out a -3, which would leave me with x plus 8. Close with my bracket. Okay. Now I really don't need the bracket now. I'm going to change it to 2 times 2x minus 3, which was here and here. Okay. Just kind of right here and right here. Times x plus 8. This can be distributed back in. Full method or full method, then distribute it back in. Full method would give you back to here, distribute back your 2, and you go back to your original formula, your original equation. Okay, number 15 reads 8m squared minus 44m plus 48. Again, there is a greatest common factor for 8, 44, and 48. There's a number that I can take out of those three numbers. I can take out a 4. Let's just make our 4 red this time where we can see that it's standing out. If I take out a 4, that's going to leave me with 2m squared minus 22m plus, 11. Let's start that over. We're taking out a 4. I started taking out a 2. 11m plus 12. Okay, so we took out, or we factored out, we didn't take it out, we factored out a 4. Now, that again, that leaves me with smaller numbers to work with. So 2 times 12 is going to give me 24. Then I just need to list the factors of 4 that when I multiply them together I get a 12, and I'm going to use 2 negatives, so when I add them together I'm going to get 11. So a -1 and a -24, that will not work. -2 and a -12, that will not work. But a -3 and a -8 will work because 8 plus 3 is 11. If it's a -3 outside, drops 8 degrees, I'm going to be at a -11. So it makes it a little bit easier to work with. So I have a 4 here. And like I said, if we want to use our brackets to make it look nice, we can. I'm going to pair the 8 with the 2. So I'm going to say 2m squared minus 8m plus -3m plus 12. Close my bracket. Okay, so I still have my 4 sitting out here. And then inside of here, I'm going to take out a 2m, which leaves me with m minus 4. And over here, I'm going to take out a -3, which would leave me with m minus 4. Close my bracket. Okay, and again, we don't really need our bracket anymore. So here's my 4 that I factored out over here. And it's 2m minus 3. And then m minus 4. Okay, that is page 43. I'm going to make another video for page 44.